I first need to talk about the shared relationship between Harry, Hermione, and Ron before delving deeper. Welcome to another episode of Exploring Harry Potter. I hope you find the topic of this video both intriguing and entertaining. Who they initially were and who they grew to be. All three were in the same grade. All three were sorted into the Gryffindor house. All three made passing grades thanks to Hermione's intellect and studious nature.
Mel is the only known maker of the Sorcerer's Stone.
The what?
Honestly, don't you two read?
She managed to get both boys through their classes while obtaining the highest grades herself, followed by Harry, then Ron. Harry had the skill and ability to go farther, but he lacked the ambition, and who could blame him? Every year, Lord Voldemort and his Death Eaters, or his minions, were coming after him. I imagine it probably took up a lot of his headspace. Hermione became a mother figure among the trio, and they in turn became protective father figures. They aimed to never let anyone hurt her, emotionally or physically. Except for Ron later in the series, but we're getting to that. In the very first novel, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, if you're American, but it was first published and is known as the Philosopher's Stone almost everywhere else.
Initially, Ron
Mocked Hermione and made fun of her, which she eventually overheard.
No wonder she hasn't got any friends.
She was so heartbroken she went to a girl's bathroom crying and stayed there, missing the seasonal fests and festivities. Ron and Harry quickly realized Hermione didn't know the troll was there, and she didn't know the danger she was in. After charging inside, Harry and Ron managed to knock the troll out. Hermione took the blame. By saving her and her saving them, they cemented a lifelong friendship, arm in arm from then on. The three musketeers of the wizarding world, all for one, one for all. I wonder if that was an inspiration for J.K. Rowling, but I digress. The Dark Lord's attempts to get Harry year after year, him getting closer time after time, they somehow managed to grow up. That's when the shift between them began. Ron first with the girlfriend he hated but still made out with in public. Then came the formal dance party rivalry and dramatics, the constant bruised egos back and forth, and then Harry watched Dumbledore die. The heartbreaking catalyst that sent Harry, Hermione, and Ron on the path to complete the mission of destroying all the Horcruxes. To vanish the Dark Lord Voldemort for once and for all. After obtaining the Slytherin locket, Ron began to notice when Hermione hugged Harry when they talked alone. Her and Harry were oblivious at first that Ron started feeling that way. This became absolutely crystal clear for all while under the influence of the Horcrux, when he saw Harry and Hermione trying to figure out their next move, he became irate, yelling at both as he saw them developing a romantic relationship, which wasn't true. But the evil inside the Horcrux locket, it planted negative ideas in his head. He tore off the Slytherin locket and disappeared, to the horror of both. But it really tore Hermione apart, even if she pretended it didn't. As the days and nights turned into weeks, Harry would still hear Hermione softly crying, especially at night. There indeed were moments as Harry and Hermione grew closer, but they always hesitated. They always held back. They both knew they were isolated from everyone, both looking for anything to comfort themselves. But she was in love and left by Ron. Harry lost one of his best friends, one who was the closest thing to a brother he'd ever have or ever would have. They were abandoned together. Ron's return made his feelings for Hermione clear, and his love for Harry. Harry took him back fairly easily compared to Hermione's reaction, which was absolute anger, hitting him, yelling at him, and we all know anger is often the symptom of other emotions. Anger is easier to be than hurt or happy, but afraid to show it. As they collected another Horcrux, the Helga Hufflepuff Cup, they went to Hogwarts. While Harry searched for the Raven diadem, Ron and Hermione remembered the basilisk's venomous fangs. Finding their way into the Chamber of Secrets once again, they found fangs on the skull of the basilisk. After using one to pierce and kill the Hufflepuff Cup and its Horcrux, and then running from the giant water wave it created, they finally looked at each other and shared an immediate and passionate kiss. A kiss 7 books in the making and 8 movies. In the end, did she make the right choice? More correctly, was there any other choice to make? Remember back when Ron's wand was broken, but he still tried to cast a spell at Draco Malfoy when he made fun of Hermione, leaving himself vomiting a belly full of large slugs? It's a true Wizarding World romance from the very start.
Is this all real? Or is it just happening inside my head?
Of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. Why should that mean that it's not real?
If you've made it to the end of this video, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.